Welcome to the NOFAS Circle of Hope Birth Mothers Network. My name's Kathy Mitchell. The Circle of Hope is a program designed to prevent future alcohol and drug-exposed pregnancies. We welcome all women from all walks of life that have used alcohol or other drugs while pregnant. I can tell you that to accept that you drank alcohol during pregnancy that resulted in your child having lifelong disabilities and difficulties is a very tough thing to live with. I should know. I have a 37-year-old daughter who has full-blown fetal alcohol syndrome. Little did I know when I was 17, 18 years old and I was pregnant with my daughter that drinking wine on the weekends could result in lifelong problems for my daughter. You know, my daughter Carly was not diagnosed until she was 16. I did not know she was affected when she was born. She seemed perfectly fine. She developed problems as she got older, but nobody ever attributed those to the fact that I drank when I was pregnant. So sadly, I continued to drink in later pregnancies. My fourth baby was born, and he died the day he was born. And I had a beautiful baby girl a few years after that who died when she was just a few months old. They said it was sudden infant death syndrome. Well, today, with the research that's come out, I believe both of those babies died as a direct consequence of my using alcohol during pregnancy. Having a child with a diagnosis of FAS or an FASD, Fetal Alcohol Spectrum Disorder, is like wearing a scarlet letter. For the rest of your life, you're kind of in a position of having to confess to the world that, yes, my child is affected, permanently affected, because I drank or used drugs when I was pregnant. You know, before Carly was accurately diagnosed, she had been diagnosed as having cerebral palsy. And when I would run into people in the store and they would meet Carly and ask what her diagnosis was, and I would say cerebral palsy, they would look at me and say, "Oh, bless your heart." And then once she was diagnosed and we had the real diagnosis of fetal alcohol syndrome, and I would say fetal alcohol syndrome, then people would say, "Oh, I didn't realize that you adopted your daughter." And then when I say, "Well, I didn't, I drank when I was pregnant," they run the other way. And that's why I founded the Circle of Hope. You know, meeting other birth moms has really changed my life. The Circle of Hope Birth Mothers Network changes lives, and I believe we help women to stay clean and sober and to move forward from a very painful experience. I get many messages throughout a week from women who are in a lot of pain, living in secrecy and isolation, afraid to tell anyone what's happened and what the real diagnosis is. Women are just so elated to be able to have a place to talk about their grief and remorse about using during pregnancy and to find out how they can help. But you know, it's important to know I have never met a woman who intentionally harmed her unborn child. Every one of our members, you know, simply didn't have the right information. Some have even been told by their physicians to drink while pregnant. Unbelievably, yes, that actually still happens. And of course, some of our women suffer with alcoholism or addiction, and they need treatment. And so we have members, though, that are social drinkers, moderate social drinking, you know, and even fancy French wine can result in having a child with lifelong disabilities. When my daughter, Carly, was diagnosed with fetal alcohol syndrome, it was very isolating. I didn't know one other woman who had a child with FAS. I loathed myself for knowing that my drinking harmed my beautiful daughter. The feeling of guilt and shame and loneliness is exactly what the Circle of Hope is there to help with. Getting together and finding other women to share this common bond with is really healing. The Circle of Hope, we refer to our members as warrior moms because it takes a lot of courage to stand up in public, even to tell your family the truth, to tell your friends and neighbors and communities that yes, my child has problems because I drank when I was pregnant. It's just not an easy thing to do, and it takes a lot of courage. But our members, our warrior moms, believe it's the right thing to do, and the most important thing to all of us is preventing the next case of FASD. We need all the members we can get, because united, we can really make a difference. If you're a woman who is drinking or living in isolation or secrecy, you don't have to live this way anymore. We want you to contact us. You can go to our website, NOFAS.org, find the Birth Mothers Network page. You can email me at mitchell@nofas.org. I can connect you to our private Warrior Mom Facebook. You know, there is hope for recovery out there, and there's people out there that want to help you and want to support you. Contact me anytime, and we can make a difference together.